Hey, what's going on, family? Welcome to your Monday night live stream with your host, Sir Ashley. I have a couple other guests in the background, and we are delayed today because of my co host. She was late, but we'll get into that in a second. Today, we're going to talk about the confusion in the housing market. And see there it is. Camera's looking at my keyboard. Confusion in the housing market and how the Fed cut rates last week, but mortgage interest rates actually went up. What does that mean? How should you look at the housing market, and where can you find the best deals in housing right now? We're going to touch on all of those things in this live stream, as well as answer any of your questions. Any of your questions you may have. If we don't know the answer, I'll be the first to tell you don't know, and we'll come back hopefully the next week, following week, with an answer. But hopefully we can address any questions you have. Thank you, Jocelyn. While we're waiting for a couple people to join, go ahead, hit that like button, share this with others, and leave in the comments where you're watching from and how we can help you. All right. Let me bring Ambernique, my co-host, to the stage. What's going on, sister?
Hello, what's going
Welcome.
on? I heard
You
you
got
bad talking
Jocelyn.
me. Hey,
What?
Jocelyn.
Never would I talk bad about you,
You did.
or you
I
being
think you
late.
were.
That's not happening.
You
Um,
know what? Unlike you, I'm rarely late. It was, yeah, I was taking a nap. No, I was sick. Did you? You didn't start off with that,
I
but
didn't
I
start
was
off.
sick.
She wasn't feeling her best this weekend.
So yeah, but I
Actually, it
am better.
started like Friday. I called her Friday, and she answered the phone. And I had to look at my phone to see I make sure I called the right person because she sounded like a gremlin on the phone. It was weird. It was weird.
Yeah, no, I felt bad. Only thing I can say to people is like,
She
let's
did
go
not
back
have a
to
date.
washing
Yep.
your hands. No, not a date. No, I'm just talking about taking care of yourself because COVID is really out here. No,
Yeah.
Jocelyn, I did not have a date, but I'm still manifesting either a ball player or a doctor. So if you guys are on here, like I know the man that I want. Yes, Angela Angel Reese wants her 6'7" NBA player. So why can I have my choice?
You can have whatever you want. Whatever the Lord's will is for you, by all means.
Absolutely.
What's going on just today? I appreciate it. So again, if you have any questions, Jocelyn, do not hype her up. Have any questions, feel free to leave it in the chat. We are here to talk about obviously the housing market, personal finance, but also we're real people. So any kind of stories or whatnot, we'll let you behind the scenes about this reality show sometimes we live in. And I'm looking in the backstage right now because I had brunch with one of our guests this weekend, and she kept saying, "We need to make a reality show of what we do right here. Like, we need to let y'all behind the scenes of this real estate market because it really is quite chaotic sometimes." But without further ado, let me invite my brother Avery. What's going on, Avery? Quickly introduce
Hey y'all.
yourself.
Hey, I'm Avery. I'm a North Carolina realtor as well with Sir and Amber.
Perfect, perfect.
Hey,
And
Avery.
Amber,
my girl Sharika, how you doing?
Hi, I am doing exceptional. And
Nice,
yourself?
nice. I'm doing well. I'm doing well.
That's great.
Now that now that it's evening, today was a long day. Today was a long day. Mondays are my on-call days, and putting out fires from the weekend, which is a good thing. That means my agents and everybody was busy and doing things, but just making sure things are buttoned up from the weekend. So I'm blessed to be able to do so.
Is this the on call day you never tell anybody that you're on call?
The secret on call day.
Right?
I was on call. I was on the phone for like a good 3.5 hours today dealing with nonsense. So, um, first article I want to pull up real quick, and if you all want to talk about something, by all means, chime in and we can try pulling it up. But first thing I want to touch
Yeah.
on
Sharika,
is.
where are you from? I don't think you did. Sharika say where
Oh,
she's
I'm
from?
sorry.
He didn't give me
Yes,
an
I didn't
intro.
even know. You
See
didn't
what
give
I'm
me
saying,
much of an
Amber?
intro. That was
That's
my
what I
fault.
mean. You gotta look out for me. Just don't here treat me like a dog.
Yes. What's up, Sharika?
Hi, hello everyone. I am Sharika Brinkley. I'm with Meritage Homes, so I'm a new home construction specialist, and I'm so excited to be here.
We are
Okay.
excited to have you.
Thank you.
No, most definitely. You present an expertise in a different field than us. Like we deal with a lot of resale homes, but you see a different side of things, right? The construction process. You deal with clients at a different stage sometimes than we deal with. So yeah, definitely want to pick your brain and ask you questions as we go through this topic later, to like further on in this video. And then also Avery, as a new agent, I want to get your perspective on things, right?
Okay.
Now, I say new agent. He's been in real estate for a while, but as far as on the investor side, regarding real estate and being an agent, he's new here, but he knows what's going on. Give me 1 second. You got Jocelyn. She's hyped about the rate cut. She meet with her NACA counselor in 2 weeks. Now, I'm happy you're excited about the rate cut. You might not be as excited once I bring this up.
And while we're still waiting on the article, Jocelyn, type in the chat how long you were in NACA. So I want people to know that NACA is real and it's achievable. You just have to be patient and stay the course. So don't sleep on NACA. Have you ever had anybody, Sharika, purchase a Meritage home with using NACA?
So I have not had anyone through Meritage, but I am working with my first customer who was just approved, and he was actually approved within 2 months through the process. He is in a 292 price point, and we do work. We welcome NACA. We also welcome USDA Direct. That's an exceptional program as well.
Can you talk about, I know you're not a mortgage broker or anything, but USDA, what kind of loan is that?
So USDA is an agricultural loan, United States
Mhm.
Department of Agriculture, which it covers like a lot of the rural counties that are just on the outskirts of Mecklenburg, and even in the areas that we don't consider rural anymore, like
No,
Gaston County. That's the
yeah.
greater Charlotte area. There are places there that cover USDA. In my one of my communities in Stanley, North Carolina, we allow USDA as well. USDA Direct is like it's a program that's attached to USDA, and it's accepted in certain areas. So
Mhm.
it's where the government actually covers a portion of the mortgage. So it's subsidized. And it is perfect for like folks who may be like on fixed incomes and things like
Mhm.
that. It is a different website from USDA, but it's still under the same umbrella.
No, I like it. I like it. We will drop. Actually, I'm glad you mentioned that because I didn't realize the Stanley community offered or was eligible for that. I'm going to do a video just about USDA Direct to educate others about how to get into it, what it's for, and what I like about it is, again, many people think rural, and as of 4 years ago, parts of Mecklenburg County qualify for USDA, right?
Yes.
And then even Stanley, how far is Stanley from Charlotte?
You're only 14 minutes from Charlotte, so just off.
Yeah.
It's just off of Mount Holly Huntersville Road. So if you're
Mm-hmm.
traveling on 485, it's exit 14 at the stoplight. You see the food line. You'll turn left.
Yep.
It's and like you mentioned, you're only 22 minutes from the airport, and that's
Yeah.
with traffic. So you're still conveniently located in the to all of the things that you may need to access, like the interstate. You're 9 minutes from there. You're 22 minutes from the airport. You're only 14 minutes from Gastonia, which Franklin Boulevard has everything you can think of over there. You have um,
Thank you.
Best Buy.
Don't do
Um,
that. Don't do
Tar-
that.
what?
So we're talking about. Sorry, we have you're new to the stream. Ambernique has been hyping up Gaston County in Gastonia for the past, I want to say a year. We haven't been doing this a year. She's like, that is
because that's the
her caveat where
that's
people can
the
find a
big
bang for
area.
the buck. Yeah,
I
Yeah.
agree. I
Gaston
I
County.
definitely agree with Ambernique on that because
Mhm.
one thing that people have to notice, like I tell everyone, like areas like Stanley and the Gastonias, these areas have so much growth. When you're looking at living in Mecklenburg County, those folks have already capitalized on their equity, right?
Yeah,
So you're either going to be the guy that gains equity or you're going to be the guy that's buying into someone else. You're paying someone else's equity, right?
yep,
So
yep,
I like to be the girl or that gains equity and still has opportunity and room for that growth
yeah.
because that's how you build your wealth, right? And a lot of people don't realize that that's a whole different other revenue of wealth, tapping into the equity on your home.
Exactly. So, Sharika, we're on the same page. I need people to know that yes, it is a drive from Charlotte, an extra 20 to 30 minutes, but you have so much to gain. Reason being, just like I live in Bessemer City, there is not a lot in Bessemer City, and I knew that prior to going in there. But now, um, Lennar's building 170 new construction homes. There is a local dentist coming, what is it? A physician's office, a hospital is coming. So in that area, so what I'm trying to get people to understand is why nothing is there. Now
That's
is
when
the
you got to
time
take advantage of it.
in because now I'm gonna just use this new community that's coming for example. In phase one, they're in the low 300s, right? Low to mid
Mhm.
300s. By time they're in their final phase, it's probably going to be, I would say, low to mid 400s, almost 500s. People be like, to live in Bessemer
Mhm.
City. Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
So
yeah,
now is the time when you see some place you don't see a lot going on. That's where you go because for one, that's where the investors are. That's where homes are being
Mhm.
rented. That's where the builders are. So go where you see the wealthy doing business because that's
Yes.
the next up and coming area. So I'm
I
gonna ask
completely agree.
County.
You want to follow the
I know
money
you
trail,
agree, and
that's
this
for
was an
sure.
alley hoop for you, Sharika.
Yeah.
This was
Yeah.
an alley
You
oop
want,
for you because you have other avenues, right?
I do.
So you talk about going into places that are underdeveloped and being able to capitalize and buy, and you can fix up and do all that. That's right up your alley.
Absolutely. So, one of the things that people don't realize about new construction and why I'm
Mhm.
such, even if I wasn't a new construction expert specialist, I will always be an advocate for new construction, especially for first time home buyers,
Mhm.
mainly because a lot of times when folks are purchasing homes they may not necessarily have a ton of money, and people think like back when old like my parents or you guys parents purchased home, the thing was resale,
Yeah.
right? Because it was a lot less expensive. Well, now, after COVID, we're all in the same boat, price point wise. So you might as well take advantage of the fact that, like with
Yeah.
Meritage, I'll use for example, you're gonna have a 10-year structural warranty on your home, a 2-year craftsmanship, and a 1-year bumper to bumper. And what that means for you as a buyer is money that you get to keep in your pocket because we all know there are some major expenses that can come with home ownership. If your
Mhm.
HVAC unit goes out, that's not a cheap expense if you don't have a warranty on it. If your refrigerator goes out, that's not a cheap expense either. So a lot of these things with Meritage, we include brand new refrigerators and appliances, over
Yep.
the range microwave, washer, dryer. We also even include blinds. And then just to touch on the interest rates, I don't want to steal your thunder, sir.
You're still in it, but go for it.
You're going to be able to take advantage of a lot of promotions that we're going to have. I mean,
Yeah.
right now, Meritage has
Talk to
a
him
4.875 30-year fixed rate mortgage. So what that
now.
means for you
Real
as a
quick, real quick
buyer,
before we
okay.
before we talk about
Okay.
what that means. I know I get calls, emails, DMs, talking, saying I want to buy. Homes are expensive and the interest rates are too high, right?
Mhm.
And I hear that every day. in one avenue or another. The thing is, and I direct them to new construction, because I almost said new construction like Ambernique. Jesus help me. New, new construction.
We
And
want to
reason
tell you
why
how I
is
see it, but go ahead. But go
reason
ahead.
why is while everyone else earlier in the year were paying 7% interest rate, with new construction, it was not abnormal for me to get clients deals in the 4s or in the 5s. And even now, when people are, what the average right now is 6.2, I believe it ended today with, and I'm gonna pull it up, 6.2, we're talking 4.8, 30-year fixed.
Exactly.
So, and these are the same people that waited, didn't do anything when rates were in the 3s because they couldn't compete.
Mhm.
Right. So you want to say you want to wait till interest rates come down, but when they come down or when prices come down, that just brings more competition to the market. And if you haven't put yourself in position to save a large down payment or whatever it may be, fix your credit, then you're not going to be able to compete when or if prices drop, which I don't see them dropping, at least in the Charlotte area, and or interest rates come down. So go ahead. I'm sorry. What does 4.8 do? What does that compare to a 6.2 interest rate?
Also,
How does that
I just want to piggyback
impact?
on what Sharika said before she goes
Yeah.
into the interest rates,
Mhm.
because I've been seeing these videos circulate and it has a lot of people questioning, should I buy a home because of the expenses that it comes with? So I just want to add that,
Oh,
the
yeah.
benefit of having a new construction home, you have those warranties, that it's not likely, it's less likely for you to have a major replacement as such as a roof, HVAC within the first 10 years, but that also gives you time to create a savings account. You could put $40, $50 a month, and by time it's time for you to need to replace something, you have the money saved, and that way you don't have to worry about it. So I think like that's a conversation that needs to be had
That
because
is
it's these
something that needs to be.
circulating
And once
around.
not only do you have everything new and you come with the 10 to 1 year with the structural and
Mhm.
stuff like that, when you buy that Meritage home and it comes with those appliances, you can register those appliances and take it from a 1 year warranty to a 2 year, to sometimes with the HVAC 5 year. It just really depends. You can get it extended out to where, again, it's a house, it's gonna malfunction, things are gonna go wrong, but at least you have that security knowing that you bought brand new and you got brand new appliances and you have the manufacturer's warranty, not just the builder's warranty. Right.
But
So
it's deeper than a warranty. You see what I'm
yeah,
saying? Because the warranty is going to expire at some point.
yeah.
But for a lot of people that don't have 40, 50, $60,000 sitting in the bank, you
Mhm.
start to accumulate that and you start to save little by little. So that way, when it's something that comes up, you're not like, oh my gosh, if I was in an apartment, my landlord would have fixed it. But now buying new, you're starting, your rainy day fund for your repairs. So that's a
Yeah.
really great benefit of new construction.
And just to piggyback off of YouTube and Bernice, I was driving through Gastonia over the weekend, and
Stay at my,
the
stay at my
last
neighborhood.
time,
But go ahead.
you like,
Go
look, I
now,
don't know
yeah.
why, I just decided to go over there, but I haven't been
You
driving
ain't
through
gotta explain
Gastonia
yourself to
since
Ambernique.
like.
You drive where you want to drive.
Yes, he does. We were
But
gonna know what
yeah,
you're
I
doing
didn't go
around those
to.
parts.
Look, at first I didn't really like Gastonia, but I knew Gastonia because, like I said, I did help a lot of some investors find some homes or flip some homes down there, and it looks completely different now. Like I drove through there over the weekend, and I saw a lot of for sale. I saw a lot of new construction buildings, and the price points are a little bit cheaper than outside of Charlotte. I did
Absolutely.
watch a string a couple weeks ago too. I don't think they got that good nail tech that you're looking for out there yet either.
So
Yes, they
What do you know
do.
about
Yes,
the
they
nail?
do.
How do you
Emily.
know if they have a nail
Over
tech out
yeah.
there,
there?
they have one over there by Ulta.
But wait
See,
a
I'm gonna
minute.
shut Avery down right now.
But wait a minute, girl. But guess what? I found a amazing barbershop, y'all, inside a grocery store. But that's another conversation.
Nah, that's a damn pass.
That's
Hey,
Gastonia for there you go. That's Gastonia for you right there.
But
but
listen,
It's
Bernice,
the
I'm
gas
gonna
house
tell
for a
you when
reason.
I knew that Gastonia was really, really, really experiencing growth was they actually have a Tesla charging station
oh yeah.
Oh, that
over
too.
there.
Yeah.
They do.
Mm-hmm. Avery, stay out my neighborhood now. What you saying? You stay in South Carolina? What's there? I'm gonna need y'all to send me y'all pods.
Come over here with that.
Well, come over here. Me and Sharika out there.
Sharika,
We out
4.8.
Oh yeah, so 4.875, and not only that is we're also gonna give 75 up to $7,500 in closing costs. And with new construction, your closing costs are generally gonna range between $8,000 to $10,000, just depending on what floor plan you select. So you still have tremendous savings.
Yeah.
Right, because if you go to an outside lender, closing costs that's an expense that comes with home ownership regardless.
Mhm.
So you might as well get the home you love, peace of mind knowing that you're gonna have warranties, and you're gonna also save and keep some money in your pocket, so that way when the mortgage comes around and it's ready, you start paying on your mortgage, you still have a little bit of a nest egg. You're not completely depleting your savings account to cover these expenses. And in most cases, let's say if you're doing 3.5% down, you're maybe on a home that's $385,000. What does that calculate to, sir? For three and
I
a half
mean,
percent down.
why are you gonna call me out like that?
'Cause you did it,
Hold on.
man.
385.
385 times 3.5%.
Yeah. 13.4. Almost 13.5.
$13,000. So that's what you're gonna come
Yep.
to closing with if that 7,500 covers all the expenses
Yep. Yep.
for a brand new home.
For a brand new home. For a brand new home.
Like you
And
can,
that monthly payment is significantly cheaper at 4.875 than it is at 6.5, 6.2. It is significantly cheaper. We're talking a couple $100 cheaper every single month.
And also,
Right.
I just want to ask, Sharika knows that I'm a rebel, so if we got to go up a little bit higher, I'm gonna fight her on that too, y'all. I may be
Right.
nice on here, but yeah, we're gonna fight.
yeah, that's right. I like me a little challenge now. Make me sweat a little bit. Make me work, right?
Oh, I saw you working this weekend.
You did, right?
You were working. You were working. She was working the deal. She wouldn't let it go. She wouldn't let it go. How did it go? How did it? Did it work out?
It worked out. It worked out. Yes.
That was a miracle. Then you
It
made
really
that. You
was a
pulled the
Christmas
rabbit out the hat.
miracle. Oh man. Cause
Yeah.
so the thing of it is like right now is changing the mindset. That's the
Yep.
main thing. Like you guys have probably already touched on this. Is renting versus owning. A lot of folks, are so fixated on the interest rate. Well, right now, you're just dating the rate and you're marrying the home, because we all know that rates go up and down. Whenever my parents first purchased their first home, interest rates were 13%, and that was a steal. It really was a steal. So right now, people think that rates are extremely high, but they really aren't high as that.
No.
They really aren't that high.
Mm-mm. It's all
Because
about perspective. Because this is what I say the same thing. Rates aren't that high. It's about perspective. It's just that people got jaded when they saw the 3s and 4s during
the
COVID.
unicorns.
No time before that were there 2s, 3s, and 4s. No.
But I'm also add that they didn't move then, so I just see that as you already know.
Thank you.
You already let them know. I'm about to say.
Time. So again, that's an excuse. A lot of people take things with social media and they run with it. They look at these influencers, these people making these crazy videos who's not in the market daily. They're going off a one-off situation where they really need to hone into the local professionals who, does this business every day, who's explaining, things like that's in their best interest, because the national news is going to tell you all rates is high, don't buy. But what are the big dogs doing? What the big dog investors are doing? Who has the money? They're buying.
Well,
Now,
your interest rate in your apartment is 100%.
That part.
I mean, hello, you're not getting anything back. I've been a landlord, babe.
Nothing back at all.
I'm not giving it back. And you may not get the deposit back, your security deposit. Put your pictures up. That's what I want you to do, so that I can not give you your deposit back. It's a business. And that's what I explain to people. you get so fixated on the convenience that renting allows you, right? Renting allows you convenience, but home ownership you're gonna be sacrificing when for the drive to Gastonia. But you get the pride of home ownership, and a lot of people right now are first generational homeowners.
And I tell people again, first generation homeowners, like very rarely is your first home your last home. Get on the property ladder, get on it, start getting equity. Especially this is why I love new construction, is when you get into a new community, you set that you're at the floor pretty much 9 times out of 10. You're at the floor to where the more they build up around you, the more community goes on, you're just gaining instant equity, forced appreciation, right? And then
I
after 2
agree.
years, you can do what you want to do with it. Well, meaning you can sell it if you lived in it for 2 years or had it for 2 years and not have to pay any capital gains tax if it's less than
So
$250,000
let's
profit.
pause because I think this man went over some people's head. So what he is saying is, if you are thinking about it and you see a community being started, buy in the first phase.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Or even if it's not the first phase, do it the second phase. Your
Yeah.
community right now, right?
Yes.
I was shocked to find out that you still have so many more homes,
Yes.
right? To where I'm over here thinking, because the one in Mooresville had 40 homes, and I was thinking you're a little more than 40, maybe 50 homes left. How
Mhm.
many homes left do you have in your community?
We still have 173 homes left to build. So we're just getting
So
started. We did our grand opening in
yeah,
November of last year, and it went very well. And
hmm
like you mentioned, rates aren't gonna. People are waiting on purchase prices to go down. Well, you're not gonna get both. I mean, we all have seen the market. It's never going to come to a point where, first of all, the market is not going to crash again, because when the market crashed the first time, it was due to the mortgage industry. It had absolutely nothing to do with the housing market, right? It had to do with the mortgage industry, and people couldn't afford their homes, right? So that
yep.
affected the housing market. But as far as it getting to a point where people just new construction was just dropping prices left and right, I don't foresee that happening. But I'm not a psychic also. But you be better off getting in the game now versus waiting on what ifs. Because we can what if until the time till the sun goes up. But like Amber Neek mentioned, when you had that unicorn rate at 2%, people still had an excuse to not buy.
No, most
Because
definitely.
oh, you go ahead, I'm sorry.
No, I was just saying they always have. There's always going to be an excuse if you look for one, right?
Yeah.
Nothing's ever going to be, the stars are not going to align perfectly. You're going to have some challenges, some hurdles to do something that is difficult. Home
Mhm.
ownership is not promised to everyone. So if you want to do it, there's going to be challenges, right?
Mhm.
Yeah.
Um,
And also, don't let somebody else's journey be your journey. So if you are ready, willing, and able, or if you're ready and willing and you don't know if you're able, find out. Reach out for your own. Don't go off of somebody else's experience.
yeah. Real quick, I want to touch on this article before I bring up another one. It says it's from Mortgage News Daily. Talks about how mortgage rates move slightly higher to start this new week. Now, everybody and their mother, because I had people calling me, so I know maybe not everybody and their mother. A lot of people were ready to hear about the Fed rate cut, to hear that they are going to cut 50 basis points on the federal funds rate, and they just knew mortgage rates were going to go down drastically. But what ended up happening was that mortgage rates went up. You see, when everybody knew they were going to be cutting rates the prior weeks, that's when Amber Neek and I were telling you, go ahead, get approved now. Let's find that house now. Let's lock it in, because they already priced in that rate cut. And when it was announced, what ended up happening, it was more people came and applied for mortgages. So that
Mm.
allowed them to increase it because the demand was there.
Mm.
Yeah.
So do not just
Right.
follow the swarm of people. That's why we're here. We're here every week to hopefully educate, advise, and show you behind the curtain on what we see coming. Because once it's happened, once it's here, the rest of the world is already privy to it, and you don't really have an advantage. Actually, if you waited till they cut rates, you're at a disadvantage because mortgage interest rates went up. So please just keep that in mind.
And I want to touch on another phobia that people are having right now, or fear that they've been expressing lately, is the fear of not having the money to pay an agent, right? So that's another benefit, guys, as to why you want to reach out to these folks like Sir and Bernique and Avery, because they are the experts on the market. So if you're out trying to shop on your own and you see that article, you don't necessarily know what you're diving into, and having a true expert to walk you and guide you through that process, that means a lot, and I'm going to compensate them for you on your behalf. So that's no money out of your pocket, and having someone aligned with you that's going to be fighting for your on your behalf, right?
Yeah. No, that's an excellent point. Excellent point. I just in any big dealing or transaction or anything like that, I believe you need somebody on your side advocating for you. Buying a home, especially, let's just talk about buying a home. Buying a home is an emotional process, right?
Mhm.
And so often, I'm not going to talk about you, Ambernique, but so often, so often, like I understand, like most of my clients are very logical people typically, but they can get jaded because this isn't just a purchase. This is something much bigger than that, and they get jaded and lose sight of, okay, maybe I'm not being totally reasonable and rational right now, but it's my job to take a step back, good, bad, or indifferent, and like, hey, did you consider this? Might want to look at it this way. Or again, it could be a positive or a negative. It could be excited one way or another, but it's my job to be that steady force, that steady hand to make sure we get through this transaction, or not get through this transaction because it's not the best decision for you, just because you fall in love with the home, whatever it may be, to look out for your best interest. And I want to make sure you have that guidance throughout this. And to my right, to my left, I helped Ambernique buy a home recently,
He did not.
and I had to pull her off the fence a few times. She was ready. Actually, hopefully you don't mind me saying this. A week before closing, she came in here. And I'm like, "What's wrong?" And you see that smile she has on her face? She wasn't smiling at anybody. She looked like she wanted to kill me, and it had nothing to do with me or anything like that. And she's like, "Look, I can't do it. I'm tired. I'm gonna walk away." And we had to sit down, have a come to Jesus moment, and see if this was really. I reminded her of what she wanted, what her goals were. And once you take a step back and not just get caught up in the nonsense, right? Because it is very overwhelming. Not get caught up in it, then you can see clearly and like, no, this is really what I did want. And here she is now, can't stop talking about Bessemer City.
Oh,
So
I do love Bessemer City, for real.
but see, that's powerful though, Ambernique, because a lot of agents don't even own homes. So the folks like myself, like you guys, we can transfer the belief, right? And we can truly speak to the fears that we went through when we were on our journey, and buyer's remorse and those things that are real things that happen. So you can talk someone off of the ledge because you're now the expert at it, because you've seen it, touched it, felt it, right? So that's powerful. And thank you for sharing that, sir. Even though it was without Ambernique's permission, we truly appreciate we appreciate you not being able to hold secrets.
He got on me throughout the whole process. How you help people do this all the time? I'm like, sir.
No, and I did get on her, but I also want her to use her, like you said, use your experience, because this isn't her first time buying a home. It just happened to be the most recent time, right?
Yes.
the most recent time to like, look, if you experience this, so you know, and you're in the industry, you deal with this every single day. You help people. I see you helping people every single day. Like, use that empathy when talking to and guiding your clients. Simple as
Oh,
that.
yes, and you see me
Right.
do it every day, and I want my recognition, being that I wasn't able to make it out to industry night. Go ahead, I'll wait.
Oh yes, that
Oh,
is
you didn't
true.
go out?
She didn't about the one time she didn't go out, right?
I was sick anyway.
Yeah, she
I
was
was
sick. She
looking
did
for you
sound. She
though.
sounded
Oh,
rough.
you were there?
I did. I
Even
was there.
Sharika came.
I don't like to miss a party night. You know, I like to have a good time.
Really?
Girl.
So I guess
But I will say
this
though,
is the real one. This isn't the real one, but I have your award. The second quarter top producing agent in my office award
Thank you.
went to Ambernique Bradley.
Well, thank you.
So congratulations.
So you treating me to lunch? I want to go to Dean's. Thank you.
Something big.
You might well, one, I'm not treating you, but you might be able to pick up tag along for dinner tomorrow night at Eddie V's.
Dean's, can we go to Dean's?
We already got the reservations for Eddie V's.
Dean's crab cake is like, oh my god.
Whatever. So
better
Sharika
than
realized
Eddie
that we like to eat.
Man,
On
listen.
Sunday, she came to brunch with Sean and I. And Sean didn't disappoint. His
He did
appetite.
not. This man was slinging chips to and
Ain't
fro.
you supposed to be training for a run though?
Avery, no need to be
My
calling
bad.
us out.
My bad.
All right.
My bad.
So just a slight reminder. Hey, you might have something to be training for.
Yeah, we're supposed to me and Sean are supposed to be training for a marathon.
Oh wow. When is it?
Well, that's the thing. Sean wanted to have he wanted to do a marathon in November, and he let me know in August. I'm like, that's not enough time for me. Like, one, I can't, like, a marathon is 26 miles, and I don't have a mile in me yet.
Right.
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 So he was like, yeah, November. And I'm like,
Oh
no. So we haven't said it. It's going to be a turn of the new year. But I was gung ho. I was going very hard in August, early September. The past week has slacked off. I haven't run as much the past week.
They will not be running a marathon, all that chicken they eat. Man, cut it out. Thank you so much, Adriana. Y'all, that's my crab eating client family. I just love her to death. I can't wait till she closes. We can have a big old crab scrape.
Oh, she's closing what? Next month.
October 9th.
Yeah, next month. You got a little fan base in here.
Get the crab pot ready.
I know.
$2.
Oh, we do have a question as well.
We got a couple questions.
Yeah.
How do you check, Avery and Bernice, how do you check the equity growth of your home?
So Jeremy, and actually, if you register on my app, I could send you monthly updates on your home equity.
How does one register on your app? You better give them the right app, Bernice.
No,
Actually, no, we gotta.
is we're going to drop the link to Empower 50. If you sign up on there, then I'll send you the direct link, and so you can get monthly updates on your home's equity. Do not go on Zillow, the Zestimate. It's garbage.
I'm putting the link right now for Empower 50, and
for the
comments
people
and questions I've been getting is. Go ahead. Express to what Empower 50 is. That's what I've been getting questions about.
Okay. So what Empower 50 is, so what Sir and I, what we wanted to do is we wanted to bring, together, because people, as far as there's a lot of misconception about the industry, about buying, selling, and investing. So our goal is to help 50 people become homeowners or investors by the end of the year, and just give you the proper education and guidance. Just like, people just started putting out videos, and I saw tons of agents doing it. Oh, rates are going down. See, without the proper guidance, they took that and they ran with it. So it's just getting those industry mishaps out of the way and really give you a one-on-one session of what's going on in your local market and what does that look like for you and your journey, because everybody is different.
And we want to surround you with various professionals to meet you where you are on your journey, right? Somebody may need credit repair, right? Somebody wants to work on, may need to get their estate or will or something like that planned and ready. So we want to just put you in contact with the proper professionals along your journey, right? And also, again, like you said, so you're educated properly and you're surrounded by a community that is positive thinking. Yes, we're going to point out challenges, but we're not going to have that negative Nancy mindset, because there's hurdles every single day. How do we get over them? How do we get past them? And how do we succeed? And that's what we want to stay focused on, the solution and not the problem. But we did drop the link to Empower 50, and feel free to join. And
So
I
can
will
I
also go ahead. I'm sorry.
I just want to touch on, speaking, you mentioned credit repair. So with
Yes.
Meritage Homes, we actually have a FSP program. So if folks aren't quite ready yet, FSP stands for Financial Solutions Program, where we have a team who for free, they're gonna guide you through the process of getting your score where it needs to be so that you can become a homeowner.
Say it one more
Love
time.
it.
How much does the credit repair cost?
Free. FREE.
Free. So not only are you getting, and we're gonna get a wash and dryer from Meritage too. And
Well, forget washer and dryer. I'm talking about blinds. That blinds like $4,000.
yeah,
Right.
blind, wash and dryer. So we can
All
go throw in
that.
a wash and dryer too here and there. Love
And
you,
the
girl.
refrigerator.
But yeah, so free credit repair. And that's another luxury of, buying new construction, because it's flexible closing dates. It's things like free credit repair. So it's just a lot of flexibility where it benefits, you, the buyer, in the way that it needs to.
And the piggyback too, like I said, my background's in banking as well. Y'all are paying for a lot of stuff that's free, and a lot of stuff I see for some of these credit gurus are outrageous too as well. Like you might as well, if you want to go get new construction and they're going to offer it for free, you might as well go with them. They're a vetted program. It's not somebody on the street doing it. That's a side business. You might as well go through them.
You know what, Avery, I'm so glad you say that. And for the life of me, I don't understand why people do this. When you see somebody say offer credit repair, please stop saying, raising your hand, saying me. You don't know these people from a can of paint.
What?
These people have your social security number, all your information. Y'all, please stop doing that. I'm sorry.
Look, I'm trying to tell you, as a banker, or when I was a banker, people came and I just gave them the information for free, and then I see people literally charging like $500, $300 just for this information. If you go, it's free on the internet, and then like I said, you can vet it just by new construction. Go to your bank; they'll tell you how to do it. So you can get that stuff for free. I wouldn't pay people to do it. Honestly.
And sir, there's a question. Random username asked about NACA. I think we should touch on.
Hold on, I'm looking for it. So before that question came up, I don't know if Jocelyn answered the question before. It was she took last year she took the NACA workshop, but didn't follow up. Called NACA this year ready. Started in April to get her paperwork and money. Everyone's process is different.
That's
You just have to
true.
stick with the process. So then I believe, hold on. Here we go. Nope. Where did it go? Oh, here it is. What causes NACA to be a long process? Is it because buyers typically need to get their ducks in a row, credit, down payment, or is it just a slow process in general?
So it's two things. So it's you and NACA, right? So
Right.
NACA, so it is a really great program. So I can say, because I've helped clients do it.
Yeah.
NACA, they're overworked. They really are.
That's true.
And also, it's good to have somebody advocating on your behalf because you as a client, like my clients that went through, they got stressed out. But me, I'm the type of person like I go to war for my clients. Like I
I was gonna
really,
say Ambernique ready to throw down for her clients. I have to pull Ambernique off the ledge sometimes. I'm like, Ambernique, they're on our team. They're on our team. Like, I get it, but no, go for it.
so
Yeah.
having somebody to advocate on your behalf, like
For sure.
my most recent client that went through, I got in touch with the manager of the office, had a really great conversation. She was just like, "Oh my gosh, you don't want to come work?" I said, no ma'am, I will not. But I'm happy to assist people that's coming through the program. So I say that to say, you as the buyer, you have to hold up your end of the bargain. When they ask you for documents, send them in. Yes, they're going to ask you for them more than once. Just send it in. So understand that that's their process. You can't go through changing these people process. So you need something from them. So send in what they need. Send in what they need. And
Yeah.
they're going to see that you're serious. You're sending in what you need in a timely manner. So, just get it done. Ask questions. And again, having that guidance. So it's a two-way street. So to get through NACA in a speedy amount of time, they're going to give you a list. So once you do your the first webinar, the class, you're going to have a meeting with your counselor. Your counselor is going to tell you exactly what you need to do. A thing that I have seen a lot of people get hung up on is the great thing about NACA is their goal is to get you into a home so that you stay in your home and you don't foreclose
Right.
your home. So they want to see everything that you're doing. So it's not depositing cash, taking out cash. That will delay you. You have to, do things by the book. So they want to see
Yeah.
you spending your money. They want you to create a budget. So if you go into Starbucks 3 times a day and you're trying to buy a house and it's not within that budget, make coffee at home. I do iced coffee from Starbucks right at home.
Mm-hmm.
So just adhering, stick to the budget, doing what's asked of you is going to help you navigate the process, and also going through it with somebody who's with an agent that's educated on the process. Like I tell y'all all the time, even if you don't use me or Sir, get somebody that's educated. We will want you to use us, but if you
Yeah.
don't, that's cool and that's fine. Just make sure you get somebody who's in your corner who doesn't have commission breath.
Exactly. And when we talk about NACA or any other down payment assistance program or any like grants, timing matters when you do these programs.
Mm-hmm.
Right now, when it's quote unquote a slow market, when there's not as much competition, where it actually picked up, I pulled up an article where mortgage applications have increased the past week, right, because of the news. But when it's not as much competition, that's when you have a grant or down payment assistance, your offer is taken more seriously because you're not competing against that conventional loan or that cash buyer. Because once you have, think about it, if you're the seller, even a builder, and you have somebody with a conventional loan, right, ready to go, 10% down or whatever, and you have somebody offering on the same exact property, let's just assume very limited inventory, same exact property, but yet that person has different programs associated with them, whether it be down payment assistance programs. Me as the seller, I'm more comfortable with that conventional loan because while that buyer may be solid, I don't want to deal with the red tape and bureaucracy or any delays that NACA or that other program may come with.
Mm-hmm.
So use this time if you are needing assistance or you're going through those programs, use that time. Your time to buy is now, as opposed to waiting until the spring when everybody is going to buy, when you have more competition and your offer doesn't look as attractive.
So, and to just break down what you're saying, so what Sir just said in a nutshell, that this market is for single households, one income households, people making under 60,000 or so, people who need down payment assistance. This is your time to shine, and you're sitting on the sidelines. I don't know why, because when the market heats up and you don't have 10, 20, 30, $40,000 plus to compete with due diligence funds to take a home off the market if you're in a competition in a multiple offer situation, then you're already defeated. So now is your time, because when you use down payment assistance, you have to go through more than one underwriting. And have we broken down what underwriting is in that process?
I don't think we have.
So that's a long process. So now you may not be in that typical 30 to 45 day range. It may be a little longer. So now while the sellers don't have many options, that 60 days plus sounds good, not being that they just have an offer. So it's your time.
Mhm. And that's a good point, Amber Nikki's, because people think when you're asking for down payment assistance, they're thinking easy. Well, one, you got to put skin in the game. You're gonna have to work, and those particular programs, they make you work,
Yeah.
right? And they're gonna ask you for extra documents because they want to make sure that your file is solid when it goes to that second level of review through underwriting.
Yeah.
No, most definitely.
Especially like those programs like we mentioned with USDA and USDA Direct. USDA, I tell people, it's one of the most challenging loan programs in America because it's 100%, it's guaranteed, it's 100% financing. And I want to say NACA doesn't have a down payment. Correct me if I'm wrong, right?
No down payment, no credit, no minimum credit. They just want to see that you're doing the right things. So we understand that mistakes happen. It's life. But there's that second chance that people need.
Most definitely. And real quick, let me put a button in it real quick. If you're wanting to look at homes and talk to us directly, you can go ahead and go to your app store or Google Play Store and download the Firm Real Estate app. Over 2,300 people in the greater Charlotte area have already downloaded, looking for homes and conversing with our team. So go ahead, download it, and it has the various resources. We haven't put the resources for the hair salon or nail techs in Gastonia in the app just yet, but there are resources that you can get hold of: contractors, electricians, mortgage brokers, attorneys for estates and wills and trust. So the Firm Real Estate Group, go ahead, download that app. 2,300 people have already downloaded. You can join our community. All right. I like that. That was a good 15-second commercial.
It was good.
Man, that was solid.
I'm pumped.
Right.
It was very solid, sir.
I know when people go into the app, they better be able to select me. Y'all don't choose him, just choose me. All right.
Why we gotta be like that?
'Cause I'm the best.
So,
DJ Kim.
You are. I agree.
New construction. No,
Sharika, how are
please
you
tell me how
turning on me like that?
Us ladies have to stick together. You're great.
Oh man.
too.
Okay.
Could y'all tell me how I say new construction? Different than anybody else? I don't hear
it. You
know how
don't know.
people
You
say,
don't
like,
hear it.
Shrek?
Huh?
People say like Shrek. They be like Shrek. That's
New
how-
construction?
Yeah, it's not like when you don't pronounce the S. You said like instead of Shrek, you be like Shrek.
No, new construction.
See?
Bye.
Oh, wait.
Oh man. Okay. Hold on. So where we at here? Sorry. So there is one more thing I wanted to pull out. I lost it. I got distracted with my commercial there for a second.
Yeah, why you pulling that up? The questions slow down.
Get on them.
Do y'all
Get
have
on
any
them.
questions? We are here for y'all. Somebody said she is from that water SC. You already know Elizabeth. Very Gucci.
Oh Jesus. All
Very
right.
Southern.
So-
Very secure.
Demure.
Oh, very cutesy, very mindful.
So,
Very demure.
So when we talk about the housing market and the confusion that's taking place, again, people thinking the Fed, when they cut rates, interest rates, federal funds rate, interest rates are going to come down. And people think that, that there's going to be a housing crash and prices are going to level off and all that. I hope they stay flat. I don't think they're going to, based on the numbers, I don't see them crashing, but pretty much stay flat for the rest of the 2020s. But the only way that they're going to continue to stay flat or even go down a little bit, I'm not talking about crash, I'm talking about go down 1-2%, is if we build more houses. And that's what Fed Chair Jerome Powell said last week. This article is from Friday. Powell, the real issue with housing is that we have had and are on track to continue to have not enough housing. You see, as millennials become of age, Gen Zs become of age, more people and baby boomers and whatnot are living longer. So more people need housing. And this is where Meritage, Sharika, New Home Reps come into play, because that is our only way out. We see presidential candidates talking about building 3 million homes because they understand that only way prices are going to level off or homes can become more affordable is if they build smaller and build more. So do not think that there's going to be a housing crash. Just think about where you want to be in the country. If there is an influx of people coming into that area, I can almost guarantee you that prices are not going to go down because more people are coming in to that location and housing cannot keep up. In fact, Charlotte was just rated, it was an article last week, was just rated the highest place for rent in North Carolina. It surpassed Raleigh and stuff like that, to where rent in Charlotte was going down. Well, I put out a video to some of my clients and to the database. If you're part of the app, you should have got it. Talking about the change this week where rent prices actually went up here in the Charlotte area about $75 in a week. So now it's back to what, $2,100 a month in rent. And if I'm not mistaken, Sharika, you found somebody a house this past weekend for significantly less than $2,100 a month.
Yes, that is correct. Now,
Like significantly significant, a price that I didn't think was possible.
Right. It took a lot of sweat and a lot of negotiating.
Yeah.
And it also was a sacrifice from the buyer as well, right?
Yeah.
Because if you want to be under that in that $1,800 price range, you're gonna need to have definitely some skin in the game to get you to that number. And what we do is, I mean, I'm always willing to visit, like, where do you want to be in a range, within a range, you know?
Mhm.
And what buyers also should want to consider is you have a dependent now. That's your home is going to be a dependent for you, which is going to also allow some tax relief. So what you
Yes.
think your budget is may not necessarily be where that budget is, because you can definitely add maybe 100 or a couple of hundred when once you realize you're cutting the check to yourself, right?
Yeah. Most definitely. Now, one thing I want to touch on is doesn't really quite align with this, but everybody who's been watching the doomers, I call them doomers, talking about housing crash and how builders are gonna prices drop 30% for new construction. Well, that was over a year ago. Has prices dropped 30% in new
No,
construction?
we're still increasing prices. And I tell everyone that that's a moving target. Like when you come 1 week, prices can increase the next.
Mm-hmm.
You know, because people are still buying. Just in this month alone, in the past 4 weeks, I've sold 6 homes, like 6 contracts on my own. We as a team are
Go ahead and
at
talk your shit.
47 homes.
Talk your shit.
Yeah.
How many you sell in the past?
6 on my own.
Yeah.
You know, and actually, yeah. And I'm working on another one. But I tell people, like, you get off the sidelines because people are in the game. Don't allow
While you're sitting
fear to
around
stop
wondering, twiddling your thumbs, people are putting in offers and negotiating. Right?
Mhm.
What you just said is a
Absolutely.
sacrifice backwards. They're negotiating, and you got to at least put a feeler out to see what is possible. What is possible, and look and see and be realistic and find out what those numbers are, because you may be basing it off of, okay, I don't want to spend $400 but you may be basing it off of that 6.2 interest rate. Well, what does that look like when it's 4.875? What does it look like when all your closing, well, 3/4, if not 85% of your closing costs is paid for? What does that look like?
Right, and that's the thing. You gotta let us put in the offers to see what you can get. Like I said, I just had a client. We're closing soon, but she let me put in an offer. She got $15K back in seller concessions. She's buying the rate down, and her closing costs are paid.
I like how you put that offer together right away.
Right.
You got those seller concessions, 15,000, solid. Got a question saying, when closing on an interest rate, will they have the same mortgage payment? I've seen videos stating mortgage payment go up each year. It's not fixed. It's not a fixed monthly mortgage payment. I'll let one of you all talk first. I have something to say about this as well. As far as how can your mortgage payment go up?
So your mortgage payment goes up, and I've seen these videos as well. So it's about insurance and taxes. So the insurance can change, and also the taxes can change when your property is reassessed. You're moving in North Carolina, so you're not reassessed annually. So it's not as drastic as people make it seem that they scare you. And I think if this is the video you're talking about, what lady said that her mortgage went up like, was it like $1,400? Like, I've never heard of that, never seen it. Like, I don't know what she bought, or she just wasn't properly advised. But when you're going through the process, you're made aware of that. So your P&I, so your principal and your interest, that's going to stay the same. But what can change is the insurance and the taxes.
Yes. So most definitely. And one thing I have to be perfectly clear, man, I just hit my elbow. Be perfectly clear is right now, insurance is going up around the country. Like we're facing a lot of uncertainty regarding weather patterns and whatnot, and climate change is real. Sorry, people, whoever's watching doesn't believe it. I'm here to burst your bubble. It is real. And a lot of the insurance agencies, brokers, they want to protect themselves.
Right.
Because when that hurricane comes, that tropical storm, they're going to be responsible for compensating and paying all these costs. So yes, they want you to pay a higher deductible, higher monthly fee to be able to cover that. And then this is why you see a lot of insurance companies, you only have like one or two right now in Florida. And that's why, because there's no real competition, a lot of insurance companies have left Florida because the probability, and I've actually talked to insurance brokers, and it's like the probability of a serious natural disaster is very high. If not this year, next year, it's going to happen. It's going to happen statistically. So that is something you have to factor in. And that's why you see a lot of inventory. And remember, when you're watching these videos, find out where these people are, because people in Texas and Florida has two different perspectives that you're not going to have in the Midwest or have in the Carolinas, because their insurance and property taxes are insane. Right. So Texas property taxes, while you may get a cheaper home, their property taxes are ridiculous. And then Florida, you have the insurance going crazy, insurance and HOA in Florida, where those costs are ridiculous. So you will see that. And I can say my mortgage payment went up this past year here in York County because taxes went up. The tax assessment went up. And when insurance goes up, you can always shop around, price around, and try to find the best deal. And when you bundle it with your car and everything like that, you can get a bit of a discount. So just be wise when you're doing it. No, it's not a fixed monthly mortgage payment. As far as 30 years fixed, it's never going to move because you do have insurance and taxes.
And also to add, your rent moves too annually.
And think about it. When the insurance on that house goes up for your landlord, who are they passing that expense off to? They're passing it on to you. You're paying for it one way or another. Right? You're just not getting any equity.
And let's also not forget that if your insurance increases and you've been in your home for a year and you have some equity in there, you can refinance, right? So you're
Mhm.
not, if the rates are low, so you're not stuck in any type of a situation as a homeowner.
Yeah.
There's
Most
always
definitely.
options.
Yep. That's what they
Any
don't
other?
say. Good questions.
Very good question.
Oh, she
Any other
asked a
questions
question
or
too.
anything?
She said, something about homes in South Carolina, or she say, oh, what are some areas in South Carolina that have good
Oh, here we go.
prices and rates?
Oh, so I personally, you tell me what you think, Ambernique. I like Blythewood, right outside of Columbia. I
So
like the Columbia area. I like Blythewood. Here, she's about to take you to Greenville and Spartanburg. Go
no,
ahead. Where we going?
Don't forget York, because I have a community there.
I was gonna add York. I do like York. So it just
I'm normally the cheerleader for York. You're saying York now, Ambernique?
yeah, I'll be in York tomorrow.
She's acting brand new because every time she brings up Gastonia or Gaston County, I bring up York as far as the best bang for your buck. But go ahead.
Yeah,
I agree.
Go ahead,
I
Ambernique. I'm
agree.
sorry.
no, I agree.
You go to
I
York, I go to Gastonia.
I do like York, but it also depends where you are because now if you're want to go closer to Charleston, I like Goose Creek, Mounts Corner, Somerville area. So it just depends on where you want to be in South Carolina. I
I
like
was gonna say Monk's Corner. Like some of the homes, I actually had a client build there this year, and we'll build last year. This year closed this year. Amazing community, amazing quality for a steal of a price. Right?
Mhm.
It was nice. It was nice.
And taxes are also lower in South Carolina, right? Versus
If it's
North
owner
Carolina.
occupied. If it's owner occupied, you can definitely get significantly less taxes, property taxes, and if you're a veteran,
Homestead.
in South Carolina, property taxes, homestead, and all that, it's a win-win. Now, obviously, there are investors in South Carolina. You just have to make sure the cash flow makes sense if you're going to have an investment property in South Carolina, because you're going to be paying 3 times the amount of taxes as a owner occupant. So you got to make sure that cash flow works.
Yes, whereas North Carolina, you don't have that problem.
No.
Yeah.
And we have a beautiful community in York, South Carolina. So it's just outside of Belmont, North Carolina, if you're depending on which way you're traveling. So it's not even far from North Carolina if you want to stay closer. And it's 3 to 5 bedrooms under
Monterey Park, right?
400,000. Yes, Monterey Park under
I've sold 2
400,000.
homes in that community.
Mhm.
Amazing community, quality, nice size yards, flat yards,
Yes,
which
flat.
doesn't typically always happen in the Charlotte area. You have a flat backyard, usable space. I like it. I like it. Average income for a homeowner in South Carolina versus North Carolina.
It depends. You can't. It just depends on the area. It
Depends
depends on
on the
the
area.
area of where it is.
But you can't compare Charlotte average price for income or a homeowner compared to Blythewood or even Rock Hill for that matter. Like it's just totally. It just depends.
Yeah, Elizabeth. It sounds like you want to do a consultation with us.
I did.
feel
Go ahead
it.
and put where is the jot form?
Great questions.
Segue into a commercial, sir. It's coming. The 15-second commercial.
Man, hey, it's gonna be brought to you by something. It might as well be
I
me,
know.
right? Might as well be me.
Sharika,
Yes, ma'am.
hold on, I got something for you. Wait a minute.
Okay.
How long you know, sir?
How long have I known, sir? Sir, what's it been?
What? Why is this question even pertinent?
It's
What's
getting
it-
ready to be something good.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. What are
Because
you
first of all,
picking
she's
up?
still swiping through the phone. So
She's still swiping. That's what I'm
going
wondering. Like,
back.
where's she at?
No,
Knowing good and well.
we're almost in 1993.
So, oh no, she's about to. Don't do that to me. Don't do it to me.
Ambernique, he had no remorse when he's up here telling your business.
Don't do it to me, man. I thought so. So real quick, I thought Ambernique was my sister. I thought she
I love
loved
you
me. I thought she loved me. I thought she had my back, and it'd be your own people. It be
No.
your own people, because not only did she
This
talk shit
sibling love,
about
baby.
me,
This sibling
did she
love.
talk shit about me? What 2-3 weeks ago? I get a call from my partner Sean. He's like, one, why is Amber Nique in my office? And two, why is she talking so bad about you? And there was just a picture of me disseminating all the way around, and
I was minding my business one night, like 1:00 in the morning, right?
Mhm.
See this profile pop up. I'm like, who's that? Somebody that stole her identity.
What?
Girl, we find Carl Winslow.
Avery, you ain't gotta look like that, Avery. You ain't gotta look like that, Avery.
He
That's
wouldn't
you for
tell
real?
us. This is a safe space, sir.
Oh.
He want to
You know
say
what?
what?
I'm sorry. I think the live stream is having technical difficulties.
He want to say what happened was.
Oh,
What?
sir, I'm
Look,
sorry.
I just wish you had the rest of those photos in that photo shoot. I had a basketball. I was dribbling in it as well in a suit. Like I was combining law with my basketball. Like I was doing it.
It
You
was
talking
this
about-
close. Do you remember the glamour shots? The glamour shot for the me. You need a fan, sir. That's a good picture.
Thank you. I appreciate that. Man,
Oh Lordy.
don't do it. See,
How long ago was that picture?
Elizabeth,
Oh, we got
Elizabeth,
more.
let it
Kimberly?
be.
There's more.
Hmm.
There's more.
How long?
Go ahead. Might as well. We're wrapping up. You know, you typically go an hour.
Now,
We're
if
about
she
an
turned
hour,
this
11
thing around
minutes.
and you got on a white t-shirt on a horse,
This one here look like David Ruffin.
Hey yo.
what's that right there in the front? You got a towel on the front too.
It's a tie that's just not tied, right?
That gave it a little flair. That's the sex appeal.
With that.
I'm professional, but risky at the same time.
You should be shot. That's what it was.
Now, how did you find that, Amber Nique?
No, they found me. Just came and bothered me because I was just scrolling.
So honestly, I don't do like the internet. The internet lives on forever, right? So about those pictures are over 10 years old, but I use those pictures for Sir Buys Houses
Mhm.
Facebook page because I'm an investor. I was an investor before a real estate agent. I was buying houses, and somehow she found that page, Sir Buys Houses,
The page
and
found me.
Ooh, this
Bro.
is a good question.
Yes,
How
bro.
can I avoid due diligence fee? Ooh, that's a good one.
buy new construction. That really like so.
Or negotiate.
Real talk.
No.
Rainbow Drizzle is it didn't sound right saying it. Rainbow Drizzle. Real way you can avoid it is like when you make an offer, you don't necessarily have to have a due diligence fee in North Carolina, but 9 times out of 10, the seller is is expecting it, right? And due diligence fee is something you're not getting back. Like it's just once you give it to them, you make an offer, they accept it, you give them due diligence fee, you're not going to ever get that back. So you're not necessarily. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
I'm sorry. I was just going to say the reason for that is essentially due diligence is buying time. So you're paying the sellers to take the home off the market, to do your inspections, to do your appraisal, to make sure that you're making a sound decision. So that's why it's less likely to have a resale property taken off of the market with no money. The sellers have to be in a deep, desperate state to do so.
And because if you take it off them, think about it, if you're the seller, right, and you have a property going to contract and it ends up not closing, you've missed out. It's not like you can go accept another contract right after that if somebody makes an offer. You've missed out on potentially selling your property to other people. So for that time, you need to be compensated for that time you take your home off the market, right?
And my follow-up question, oh, I'm sorry.
No, go ahead.
No, I had a question for Rainbow Drizzle. So, what's the reasoning that you wouldn't want to pay a due diligence fee, or is there something that you've heard or that you're afraid of?
We'll get back to as soon as Rainbow. I'm not Rainbow Drizzle has something to say. I'll come back to it. Danny, yeah, she's coming. She's back giving me the business. Yes. So Allie, I'll
Hey,
let
Allie.
Sharika tell you about the community in Stanley. With that said, she's selling there. I can share the news, right? I can share the news because it's about to be live. I'm also selling in that community as well. New construction homes right next to Sharika. So can you tell us a little bit more about the community?
Absolutely. So
How many
the
homes would there
questions
be?
are
What are the amenities? And before you mention the amenities, I saw two young girls as I was filming, like felt like 6 hours on Saturday or Sunday, walking to the pool. So I know you have a pool in the community.
yes.
And how long is it typically to build?
Okay, so these are all great questions, Allie. So thank you for your questions. So we're gonna have a total of 223 home sites in Harper Landing. We have currently a pool. We have a playground area for the kids. Our community also features sidewalks on both sides of the road. The association covers maintenance to the front and back entrance as well as common areas. And the great news is we are what's called a live now community. So in terms of waiting for things to be built, we focus on move-in ready homes, right? So that means if you're in a lease situation, you don't have to wait or go into an Airbnb. You're going to be able to seamlessly transition from being that renter into a homeowner within 30 to 45 days. So
Yes. And I have two homes that are ready to be moved in. We'll be hitting the market later this week. Excellent price with 3 and 4 bedrooms right now. So reach out to us. I know we've talked. I think we have Allie's contact information, right, Ambernique?
So Allie, this is on one of our stops when you come down this weekend.
perfect.
Make sure we'll talk. We'll talk. Yeah. Barbara, I know you just tuned in. They're talking about my picture again. And the thing is, and I say again, because she's gonna get over it. She's gonna get over it eventually.
I
It was a
won't.
great photo shoot.
I
It was
won't.
different. I had outfit changes and everything. And during one of them,
We need the whole spread.
Okay.
I
during
can't
one of them,
wait.
actually, I'll bring in. My mom even made a bobblehead of me with the basketball one. Yeah, she's extra. She's my mom. So one of them is me in a suit dribbling a basketball because prior life I played basketball and I
How tall
obviously
are you?
I was an attorney as well.
Mm-mm.
Don't do that. You don't do
And
that at all.
Yeah.
Sharika.
I gave her the cue. I said, not right now. Not right now, friend. He was in his
No,
zone.
that's nice. No,
The
that's nice.
speech was getting good. Sorry, sir.
You know I love him to death. The glow up was real. Okay.
So with that said, I'll bring the bobblehead in recently. Thank you, Danny.
Sir,
Hoya,
tell
put
her
some
don't
respect
forget
on it.
Muggsy. Muggsy
Exactly.
is
And
a Hall of Famer.
I tower over Muggsy.
You do.
Yes. Hoyas, and I must say, my senior year, we went to the Sweet 16. Now we lost to Florida, right? They ended up winning, they were back-to-back national champions. So, like, I could play at one point, like, 20, 30 pounds ago. But it was a whole photo shoot. I love basketball, and it brought in both worlds: the law, the professionalism, basketball. And I'll bring in. I will not going to subject myself to this and bring in the whole spread, but I will bring in the bobblehead. I will bring in the bobblehead. I do.
We
You might
have
as well bring
plans
the
for that
spread.
photo shoot. Don't you worry. Emily, we'll chat after this. We can get our
Barbara
hands on
sounds
it.
like yes, still seeing and hearing truth versus lies. Amen.
And Rainbow Drizzle did respond.
just trying to save my coins. I'm with it. I'm with it. And the best way, again, yes, I'm a firm believer in new construction. I love new construction. But really in this market, the best way to find the best deals where you're actually getting a quality home. Now, honestly, you can be an investor, give lowball offers and try to get deals. But if you don't have the capital to fix up those homes and do it all that and don't want to deal with all that, the best way to get an excellent deal in real estate is new construction. This just makes sense. It just makes sense.
Yeah. And then also, and I just want to make sure that this isn't you're being misconstrued. When you give this money for due diligence or when you give up any money, that's credited back to you at closing. So the only way that the sellers would get to keep it is if you decided to walk away for any reason. And that's why we also, have a discussion on what's a good amount, a fair amount for them, to take it off the market, but for us not to lose negotiating power as well.
Yeah. I like it. So hour 20. Any closing words? Any closing comments, questions? Feel free to put them in the chat right now. Avery, how can people reach out to you? How can they contact you?
Yeah, you can reach out through my Instagram, Awash the Realtor. I just got on TikTok as well. Or you can reach out to me via email, awashrealty@gmail.com.
Perfect. Now his TikTok or his videos, he's mastering his short form videos. I like it. I'm a fan. Oh, Ambernique, I know y'all both in here right now. Y'all need to connect. He said he'll teach you, he'll coach you on he says your editing and videos are trash. He's gonna help you. You're welcome.
I say trash. You know what I'm saying?
He didn't say trash. I'm putting that in there.
I ain't say trash.
We both know.
I think I really like going live and talking to people because I'm extra. I got to talk with my hands. I got to do this and I got to do that. So yeah.
And you overthink it when you record videos.
I do. I will record that thing 50 times. So I think
good people. Like, I should have recorded the blooper reel of her trying to say 2 sentences last week. It literally took her a solid 15 minutes to get 2 sentences out.
Yeah, that thing was awful. More of a let's go live, let's talk about it, answer questions. Yeah.
How can people get in contact with you, Sharika?
I am Sharika Brinkley on Facebook, on Instagram. Also, you can contact these great folks if you want to meet me in person and come do a live tour and check out my community, because my position in real estate is I am a seller's agent. These folks are experts and are buyer's agents. So we work together to make your dream of homeownership come true. And that's Sharika, Shereka. Last name Brinkley, like Christy Brinkley, if you know who that is. Brinkley on all platforms.
I like it. Ambernique, do you have a YouTube page? Can they follow you yet? What's happening?
Stop. Now you just see me comment off my YouTube page. Yes, I have YouTube. I'm on IG. I'm on Facebook. My IG is Ambernique the Realtor. Not really feeling that, so I might change it and just go with I'm me, Ambernique Bradley. Don't look like that. And then on YouTube, Ambernique Bradley. What was it?
Living in the Carolinas vlog or something like that?
Living in the Carolinas, something like that. I don't know. Yeah, no. I mean,
we'll get it.
If they just search your name, it's gonna pop right up.
Yeah.
There's no other Ambernique out here.
No, there's no other Ambernique. Sir Ashley, you can find me on this channel, Real Estate Advisor Sir Ashley, on Instagram, Sir_Real Estate, and I will be having an open house in your community this weekend. So come see us in Stanley. We'll love to help you, assist you, and show you the beautiful product and the pricing and what you can get 15 minutes out of Charlotte. Right. So it is quite the opportunity, and we'd love to just guide you through it and be the advocate on your side. I don't see any other questions. I see my sister Barbara. Thanks for commenting. Thanks for coming. I appreciate you. And download the Firm Realty Group, Real Estate Group, or RE Group in the Apple App Store. Random user, I see you don't see it in the Google Play Store. I will reach out to
Oh, Danny
who I
popped
need
in
to see about it and why it was showing up at one point. If you don't see it, I'll find out exactly what's happening. But you can. 2,300 people have already downloaded, having conversations, using it as a resource. Again, you don't have to use us, but there's tons of resources on there. We want to be your go-to, whether it be, again, to find that contractor or whatever it may be. Like, we want to be that end-all be-all. You all have a good night. And you all in the video, stay tuned. Don't leave just yet. But
Okay.
out there in YouTube world, thank you all for rocking with us. Definitely appreciate you. We'll talk to you later.